Did I ever tell you about the time my dad took his medication on an empty stomach and started hallucinating? Oh, yes, it happened. One moment, everything was normal. The next, he was convinced the TV was about to stage a dramatic escape from its stand. Let me tell you, if there's one thing life teaches you in moments like this, it's this: shortcuts do not work. I call this one Do Not Take Shortcuts in Life, a story of medication, life lessons, and why you should always read the instructions on the label. Adin Life.
Welcome to Humor Meets Storytelling with Dr. Mathoni Omuhango. Step into our little corner of the internet where wit and wisdom shake hands, and every story comes wrapped in faith, fun, and a sprinkle of humor. Sure, life has its ups and downs, but here, we believe that a hearty laugh and a heartfelt story can make all the difference. Whether you're looking for a moment of joy, a fresh perspective, or just a reason to pause and smile, you're in the right place. From everyday moments to faith-filled reflections, we serve up 10 minutes of laughter, insight, and storytelling, a perfect way to unwind, recharge, and refocus. So wherever you are, stuck in traffic, sipping your evening tea, or winding down from a long day, plug in, press play, and let's share a laugh, embrace a lesson, and celebrate life together. Life's too short, so let's make it count. Tune in daily on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Spotify, and WhatsApp, and let's spread the joy, one story at a time.
I was about 13 years old, still at that awkward stage of life where you're old enough to know better, but young enough to think you're invisible. My dad, bless him, was unwell and under medication. Now, if there's one thing every medication packet screams in bold letters, it's this: take with food. But that day, Dad, perhaps in a heroic bid to show his mastery over the pharmaceutical world, decided to skip that crucial step. About an hour later, the real adventure began. I was quietly sitting on the couch, engrossed in my homework, when I heard a sudden gasp from the other side of the room. There stood my dad, pointing at the TV like it had just insulted his mother. It's falling, he declared, his voice filled with panic. Now, let me set the scene. The TV was one of those massive boxy models that looked like it could survive an apocalypse. If it fell, would know because the neighbors would feel the tremor. But there it was, firmly perched on its stand, oblivious to my dad's newfound vision of its impending doom. It's what? I asked, blinking at him. It's going to fall, catch it. He was already half rushing towards the TV, hands outstretched like a superhero, ready to save the day. I looked at the TV, then I looked at him, then I looked back at the TV. Dad, I said cautiously, it's fine, it's not moving. But he wasn't hearing any of it. You don't see it? It's tilting. It's, oh no, there it goes. By now, he was holding onto the TV stand, steadying it like a sailor bracing for a storm. I thought about arguing, but decided to join him instead because, hey, maybe he knew something I didn't. So there we were, the two of us, heroically holding up an immovable TV while Mom walked in, stared, and burst out laughing. What are you two doing? She asked, shaking her head. Dad looked at her, then serious, saving the TV. You took your meds without eating, didn't you? She asked, crossing her arms. Dad paused, his heroic stance faltered. Maybe. Well, let this be a lesson, she said, still chuckling. You can't skip steps in life and expect everything to work out. Follow the process, no shortcuts. That day, I learned two things. One, medicine on an empty stomach is no joke. And two, shortcuts, whether in life or in taking your meds, rarely end well. Here are three lessons we can draw from the story. One, follow instructions carefully. Skipping steps, whether in medication or life, can have unexpected and sometimes chaotic consequences. Just as medication is prescribed with specific instructions for a reason, Life often requires us to follow a process to achieve the best outcomes. 2. Perception is not always reality. Dan's hallucination that the TV was falling teaches us that our perceptions, especially when influenced by external factors like medication or stress, may not align with reality. It's a reminder to pause and assess situations carefully before reacting. 3. Preparation prevents problems. Taking medication without eating was a small oversight that led to a big humorous ordeal. This highlights the importance of proper preparation in any situation, whether it's following health guidelines or preparing for life's challenges. Doing things the right way from the start can save you from unnecessary complications. So, what book is in my hands today? Blender N. Nakazi's book, Overpowering a Toxic Mindset, Reconstruct Your Thought Patterns. This book aligns beautifully with my Dan's TV is falling story. Just like my Dan's mind was momentarily hijacked by a medication-induced hallucination, our thoughts can sometimes spiral into unfounded fears, anxieties, or even false perceptions, often with hilarious or dramatic results. In both cases, the mind interpreted a situation incorrectly and acted on it as though it was absolute truth. My dad truly believed the TV was about to crash down, and in life, many of us genuinely believe the lies our toxic mindsets tell us. I'm not good enough. Failure is inevitable, or the world is out to get me. Blender's book tackles this head on, showing readers how to recognize and challenge these destructive thought patterns before they lead to unnecessary drama, or in my Dan's case, unnecessary wrestling match with an immovable TV. The book's core message is that we must take intentional steps to reconstruct our thoughts, much like my mom's sage advice to follow the process and avoid shortcuts in life. Skipping steps, whether in taking medication or managing our mindset, can lead to chaos. Overpowering a toxic mindset equips us with the tools to step back, assess the reality of our thoughts, and take control before they run wild. Blender's practical wisdom would have been just as valuable in that moment with my dad as it is for anyone struggling with toxic thinking today. This book empowers readers to change their mental narrative, find clarity amidst confusion, and live a life driven by truth, purpose, and peace, leaving behind the falling TVs of the mind for good. Did I mention that Blender Nakazi is the honor mention of the year 2024 in the African Christian Authors Book Award, Akaba by CLC Kenya? Yes, she absolutely is. This prestigious recognition is reserved for authors who have demonstrated relentless dedication and significant contributions to advancing authorship across Africa.
Let's meet the author. Blenda's work goes beyond simply writing books. She embodies the spirit of mentorship and empowerment that drives the literary community forward. Blenda is an accredited transformation life coach, trainer, and mentor with extensive experience at regional and continental levels. Passionate about mindset transformation, she empowers individuals and communities through training, coaching, and mentoring. She is the founder of Mindset Growth Zone, a platform dedicated to cultivating healthy mindsets for personal and communal growth. As a trainer of trainers across Africa, she equips leaders with the skills to create lasting impact in their communities. She is also a G4G mentor, podcaster, blogger in DIYG spaces, and a content creator for digital learning platforms, incorporating behavioral science and neuro-linguistic programming. Blenda has worked with diverse global teams, impacting lives through roles at the East African Community Customs Directorate, African Tax Administration Forum, and the IMF TADAT Secretariat. She has played a key role in developing and implementing digital learning platforms to foster growth and transformation. Currently, she serves as a talent and organizational development specialist at URA, with 15 years of expertise in HR strategy, talent development, leadership training, and knowledge management. She specializes in program design, learning experience platforms, and leadership development, driving positive change in organizations and communities alike. As an honor mention recipient, Blenda serves as a shining example of what it means to use one's God-given talents to inspire, educate, and uplift others, a true champion for the cause of African authorship. To find more about Blenda and her inspiring work, please visit africanauthors.net/Miria Blenda Nakazi. You've been listening to Humor Meets Storytelling with Dr. Muthoni Omuhango. As we close today's episode, remember, laughter is a gift, and every story is a reminder that God's grace is ever present. If today's dose of humor and insight lifted your spirit, don't keep it to yourself. Share the joy, send this episode to a friend, chat about it with a colleague, or strike up a conversation with that random person next to you on the bus. Trust me, they might need it too. Join us again tomorrow for another 10 minutes of storytelling, laughter, and wisdom. Until then, keep shining, keep sharing, and keep anchoring your joy in God's unshakable love. This is Humor Meets Storytelling with Dr. Muthoni Omuhango, signing off with laughter, grace, and a heart full of stories. See you soon.